Hi, welcome to Home Farm. Today we're going to be reviewing Dura Plus, a sealant adhesive from Maxim. When we moved into our property, there was quite a lot of things that we had to seal. And within the space of a couple of months, we just had a container full of different types of silicones, sealants, each one for a different job, each one that did a different thing. Some of them worked, some of them didn't.
A lot of them didn't.
A lot of them didn't.
A lot of
More
them
didn't, or that they worked temporarily, and after the course of a couple of weeks they stopped. What's really interesting about Dura Plus is that this is all of those things in one container. So what I mean by that is it fulfills the roles of things like silicone, glues, sealants. It kind of does it all.
It says no fuss, powerful instant grab, high bond strength, chemical resistant, food safe, no cracks, superior for sanitary wear. So it's a hybrid adhesive sealant. So basically it's a glue, it's a silicone, it's everything.
It is, and we've used it now for the last couple of months on a variety of different projects. We used it to seal the actual sink drains around...
Underneath, yeah. So at the U-bend, we had installed a few new ones, but there were some old ones where we haven't been able to replace them yet. And so we just wanted to have the assurance that there was no possible chance of any leaks coming from there. So we used it there.
So basically that fulfilled the role of silicone, and it worked really well. The curing time is quite lengthy. So
it is,
it takes about 24 hours to cure fully. But it worked fantastically well.
Yeah, it's worth the wait.
The place that I was really impressed with it is that in our home sewage treatment plant, we've got an air pipe that runs through, which had cracked. And I didn't want to turn that actual pump off because we wanted it to keep working. So I actually took the sealant and I actually put it into the actual crack itself, now acting as a sealant, as a glue. And it actually sealed that on the fly, and it actually... patched it up initially, then I went back the following day and I just put another layer on, and now that pipe is completely sealed and the air is not escaping at all. So I was actually quite impressed with that because it was working against quite a high pressure area.
We also used it on a stone step, one of our front steps. Somebody stood on it and cracked the corner off. That we had actually tried loads of different bonds. We tried like a cement bond, we tried a stone mix bond, and it kept on attaching, and then after a couple of months the bit will come off again. It was kind of annoying.
With no pressure, we just fall off.
Yeah. It was like really random. So we actually did it with this, and we actually applied it. What's nice about this one, I think it does come in different colors, does it?
It does.
But this one that we use is clear. Yeah. So we applied it, and we applied most of it at the bottom so that it would ooze out underneath of the step rather than the top. So just if you're doing something like that, project like that, just be aware that, you know, if you're going to apply your silicone and stuff, then you're going to push something up against it. It's going to ooze out. So rather it ooze out in a place that you're not going to see it. And it's held the step.
So far it's holding. So it's now fulfilled the role of a glue.
Yeah,
which
that
has
was
been
really
great.
good.
We also used it on a trapdoor where we had a bit of storm and water damage. So basically the actual wood slats had separated a little bit. We'd actually used that now as almost like a caulk, if you like.
Like a caulk.
So we actually put that through, and we painted on top of that.
I did. I would just say that with the paint, we were using a water-based, not an oil-based, a water-based paint. I think it was Dulux, and it is a ivory off-white color, and it needed 3 or 4 coats on top of that, which didn't bother me at all. But it is, if you're going to do an awful lot of that, you might want to just be prepared.
So that the first coat take it quite well. A little bit.
Not really. It was a bit streaky.
Yeah, okay.
And then the second coat kind of did a bit more of a less streaky, but you could still see that there was a difference in color. So it was the third, fourth coat that then actually made it more opaque and blend in with the rest of the wall or the door. So I think that that it just needs a lot of paint.
But we used the clear one. I wonder if you'd used the white one, whether it would have been easier to paint. But anyway, it was possible, and it actually looks quite good.
Looks fine.
We also used it to re-silicone our shower. So basically around the edges.
Yeah.
Now this is something that does my head in, is that we've bought so many silicones over the years. All of them are anti-mold. All of them say that they will not mold.
No black. It's black resistant, mold resistant. It's not going to change color on you. We had that put in by our plumber, professional plumber, who came in 2020. He did that work for us, and we showed.
It's been 18 months.
And he saw the previous bathroom, and he said, oh, they probably just used a cheapo, nasty silicone. I'll use a really good quality one. And I said, please, can we use one that I want clear? We wanted clear for the design that we were doing. And he said, yeah, I'll use a clear one that's not going to yellow and not going to mold. It's yellowing and it's molding, and it just looks like a horror story, doesn't it? And it's just really annoying because it makes your shower look dirty and it looks like you're not cleaning when you are cleaning, and it is clean, but the silicone is just degrading.
And it's frustrating because it is, I mean, it's not a massive job, but it's a big enough job to have to,
Headache.
take the actual Stanley knife out, cut the silicone, pull it all out, clean it, and re-silicone stuff.
Yeah.
When it should not be molding.
Yeah.
I don't understand why it does. So we've applied this again, it's only been on for a couple of months. So we can't really be sure whether it is going to mold or not.
And it does say AntiMold as well.
It does say AntiMold, so...
But I have more faith in this than I have had in any other silicone that we tried, just because it has done a good job in all the other applications we've tried it in. So this is kind of its last hurdle, the last big test, as far as I'm concerned. And then once it passes this test, this will pretty much be the only silicone or sealant that we'll ever buy, because it's just done such a good job.
And it's just one tube that's, we've got several of them, but at least we don't have to have, a silicone, a caulk, and a glue, multiple different things, and you've got to change the guns. And the other thing, when you have got multiple tubes of stuff, they obviously seal at the top, they dry out, and sometimes it's a real headache to get out. What's really nice about this is it has got a little cap at the top.
Yeah.
It does still sometimes firm up right at the end, but it's actually quite easy to take either a small nail or something and just pull out that little what would you call it, a little blob that's actually stuck in there. The other thing actually is the smell. Some of the other silicones actually smell quite strong. This one has got a smell. I just tend to find that it's not as strong as some of the others.
So when you first use it, it does make your hands quite sticky. It comes out, when it comes out, it doesn't come out like any other silicone I've used actually, because the other silicones I use, they kind of come out plasticky and you can kind of rub it off your fingers. This one, it comes out and it actually feels quite sticky and almost like a kind of honey stickiness, and you kind of think, oh, weird. But actually it's that actually sets it and actually really helps it become adhesive. To wash it off your hands is so much easier than any of the other silicones we use. I mean, some of the silicones, once they've set on your fingers, I mean, can take days to kind of try to peel off. This one, you go down, give your hands a good scrub with a scrubbing brush under some warm water and it comes off, which is great. But yeah, it is a little bit sticky at first. And then we've just used, when you use it, you just kind of use a fairly thick layer and put it and smooth it out, and it kind of hardens as almost like a really hard kind of rubber. It feels a bit like a hard rubber once it's set. So it feels really good. It doesn't feel like that kind of thin silicone-y stuff that you almost like you want to peel it off.
Yeah, true.
This actually kind of feels like it's more of a clump, so it doesn't feel like the top layer is going to peel off or anything. It actually feels like the whole thing is set together. So it's actually really good from that perspective.
It is a little bit pricier than just a standard silicone, but then it is fulfilling, 4 or 5 different roles.
Yeah.
And we've had, we've used the silicone in the past where maybe you've only used half a tube and then the actual thing has just gotten so dry that you've had to throw half of it away.
Yeah.
From this perspective, we've gone through quite a lot of tubes and we've basically finished each and every single one down to the last drop.
Which is so much better from a waste perspective.
Oh, completely.
Yeah, so basically we have used it on the interior and exterior and it's worn just the same and it's weathered just the same. So I feel confident using it outside for outside applications as well as inside jobs. And it just seems to be as durable in both settings. So I would definitely recommend this to friends and family and anybody that, is looking for a product like this.
Definitely.
I think it's worked a treat.
I think, we've just had so many poor experiences. This was actually exceeded those expectations. So yeah, we're more than happy to recommend it and continue using it.
Yeah, so overall, just a silicone and glue that actually works.
It's just a great all-rounder.
Brilliant.
It just does so many different things that it's difficult not to just want to take it out for, if you want to just patch a hole or
Quick jobs.
Seal a gap or something. It just works.
Yeah. So I hope you found this video useful and interesting. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe, and we hope to see you on our next video. Thanks for watching.